2, 1. In today's news, $700,000 allocated to build detention center for illegal immigrants. An assessment of the BVI'S broadband infrastructure to be completed in 2023. And VISAR'S Winter Wonderland is back. We also see no concern for increased contraband with direct Miami flights. And Beverly Smith receives the Stephanie Benn Public Service Award. Well, viewers, these and more stories when 284 News return.
Hun, it's asking for your password.
Huh?
You were logged out. I need the password.
BR.
What's the rest?
BRANDI, the number 4, EVER?
Who's Brandy?
We're like the password that isn't your ex-girlfriend's name. CG Insurance. Good like that.
I should have changed it.
You should have.
You're right. That's out.
That's 6.
That's out.
With worldwide medical coverage and affordable premiums, we're like a home match that isn't played at your actual home. CG Insurance. Good like that.
My turn. Oh, come on, guys.
Welcome viewers to the Tuesday, December 6th edition of 284 News. I am Kamal Haynes, bringing the latest out of the British Virgin Islands. I want to thank you so much for joining us. Well, leading today's news, the Government of National Unity has announced plans to build a detention center in 2023 at the tune of $700,000 to house illegal immigrants. Our Premier and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley, made the announcement during the 2023 budget address recently as a means to tackle the ongoing issue that have been plaguing the territory.
$700,000 has been allocated in 2023 towards the development of a detention center that will house and process illegal immigrants in a humane manner and in accordance with international conventions until they are safely repatriated to their homeland. The Government of National Unity intends to implement several key infrastructure projects in 2023 for the benefit of our people and the development of our economy.
Premier Wheatley spoke to the importance of such an initiative and the positive impacts it will have not only on the security of the territory, but also on the finances of the government.
The Virgin Islands is in need of a dedicated facility to accommodate the processing of illegal immigrants. This initiative is critical to the security and safety of our people, as well as complying with international standards for the treatment of illegal immigrants. The temporary accommodation arrangements, as they obtained today, are not effective and are vulnerable to subversion, as has been experienced in recent times. This will also save government money, as renting accommodation to house detainees is very expensive.
Well, for the year 2022, more than 50 illegal immigrants have already been detained, with nearly 20% of that figure reportedly escaping custody. But while a large percentage have since been recaptured, the true number of persons still at large remains in question. Well, back in March 2022, the government waived the tender process to allow for 6 companies to receive in excess of $1.3 million for the provisioning of security, temporary lodging, and meals for detained illegal immigrants. Well, viewers, moving on to our next story, where an assessment of the territory's broadband infrastructure is set to be completed in 2023 as part of the government's digital transformation strategy. Our Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley made a disclosure during the 2023 budget address as he highlighted the importance of the initiative, which he says complements his government's e-government agenda.
A review of legacy technology is underway. Assessments of the broadband capacity, availability, and access throughout the Virgin Islands will be completed in 2023, and the digitization of systems and records will also commence in the new year. These initiatives will help us to advance our plans so that persons can stay in the convenience of their homes and transact business with government offices, so that we can increase the efficiency of service delivery and find savings.
Well, Premier Wheatley pointed to some of the e-government initiatives that have since been completed, adding that others are in progress to be rolled out soon.
As we reform the systems and processes within government activities, we will continue to press forward with our digital transformation agenda. Some government services, such as those of the Social Security Board and NHI, are already accessible online. More government departments and services will be coming on board shortly.
Well, just days prior to the budget address, the Premier's office revealed plans for a great technological and legislative advancement in 2023. Well, this was made evident during a recent presentation by Permanent Secretary Carolyn Stout-Igwe as she revealed the office's top priorities for the new year. Well, Stout-Igwe spoke specifically to the vision for the Departments of Agriculture and Fisheries, Immigration, Sustainable Development, and VI Shipping Registry.
We are going to be launching online payments as part of the pilot project with the Department of Information Technology for the Department of Agriculture and Fisheries. Security. With the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding for the sharing of intelligence among member states of the Caribbean community, now expected within a week, the next step will be to bring into force the Advanced Passenger Information System Act early in the new year. Streamlining processes, we will have launch of additional modules on the border management system that will see the introduction of a small vessel and aircraft clearance portal and online embarkation and debarkation cards, commonly referred to as ED cards.
Well, moving on, viewers, where VISAR is calling on Virgin Islanders to support its Winter Wonderland fundraiser as the organization continues its year-round efforts to meet the necessary fiscal goals to support its continued operation and service to the territory. More in this.
Virgin Islands Search and Rescue is back again this year with its premier holiday season fundraiser, the Winter Wonderland, hosted at the Cyril B. Romney Tortola Pear Park. The event, which first came to Tortola in 2020, features the territory's one and only ice skating rink, which utilizes synthetic turf usually used for high-altitude training of ice hockey athletes to bring the wonders of ice skating to the sunny Caribbean shores of the BVI. To-It-For Media visited the busy site of the activity on Monday, where we spoke with VISAR Operations Manager Phil Aspinall on the ins and outs of this very important event in VISAR's calendar.
I mean, this is great. I mean, this is our third year. Most people down here have been looking forward to this, so we've put it back together. It's our biggest fundraiser, hopefully. Times are hard, so this is how we raise our money. As you know, we're all a non-profit. We rely on donations and events like this to raise our money. Our operating budget is $350,000 a year, and we have to get that. Not getting it off the ice ring, that's for sure, but we can hope. It's a truly family affair, but as you can see from the pictures you're probably going to view later, mainly the kids, they love it. They fall down, get up, nobody balls. It's brilliant.
Aspinall went on to explain that while VISAR delivers very necessary search, rescue, and medical services for the territory at zero cost to the government, the organization is not exempt from the costs associated with delivering these services. As a result, the help of the public through donations and the support of fundraising activities is imperative to VISAR's continued operation.
We provide the search and rescue facilities and services for the British Virgin Islands. Sailing capital of the world, so it only makes sense that there's somebody out there to take care if you have an accident or fall ill while you're on the seas. So some of us look at it as a sort of an ambulance, if you like, for the water, but all of my staff are trained. They are medically trained to take care of you when we get out there. Statistically, most search and rescue organizations are 80-90% search and 10% rescue. We are the flip. We are about 80-82% medical because of the quality of the guests that we get here. You know, we've got the cruise ships, we've got the sailors, so we're out there. Most of our stuff is medical. No, an essential service, I think. As I say, we provide it for the government at no cost to the government, but there is a cost. You know, as I said earlier, it's $350,000 a year is what it costs to operate, and we have to raise that from memberships, from events like this, and the good generosity of the public.
The Winter Wonderland will be open to the public for the next 4 weeks from 5 p.m. daily. Following this activity, VISAR moves right along with preparation for its next activity on February 10th, the Governor's Gourmet Gathering.
The next one that we have is February the 10th at Government House. His Excellency opens his doors and we have the Governor's Gourmet Gathering. We've done that for many, many years, where the local restaurants and restaurateurs come and prepare their specialty dishes, and we charge you to come and eat it, you know. So they donate the food, they donate their time, they donate their labor and expertise. It's marketing for them so that people can see such and such a restaurant sells this particular food and prepares it this way, and so it's good for them. It's marketing for their own thing, but VISAR is the beneficiary.
Tickets for the Governor's Gourmet Gathering will be available from mid-January, and Virgin Islanders are encouraged to support the activity and, by extent, assist VISAR to meet and surpass its fundraising goals. For 284 News, I am Jacka Wooding.
Well, thank you, Jacka. Well, viewers, up next, no concern for increased contraband with direct Miami flights. And Beverly Smith receives the Stephanie Benn Public Service Award, and VI residents urged to tap into tourism pie. But these and more stories after a word from our sponsors.
Freeze. Choose your mix. Choose your flavor.
Good job there, brother. All right. I'm surprised you're here.
I'm surprised you're still alive.
Charles, it's been 60 years.
I wish it was 60 more.
Let it go.
No. You know what you did.
It was just ice cream. But you know what? It was delicious.
What?
We're like a family get-together without all the family drama.
What you gonna do?
CG Insurance. Good like that.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes, Sonny.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut front of people.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man, forget you.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Well, welcome back, viewers. But as the BVI prepares to welcome daily flights from the United States of America, local authorities have expressed confidence in the ability of the territory's relevant customs, immigration, and security authorities to protect the BVI's borders from any increased risk of imported contraband. When asked whether local authorities intend to implement any new, more stringent screening measures at the Terrence B. Lettsome International Airport, a general consensus was expressed by Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley, Deputy Premier Honorable Kai Reimer, and Managing Director of the BVI Ports Authority, Kurt Minal, that the measures currently in place would be sufficient. Well, according to Minal, this can be attributed largely to collaborative efforts and sharing of information between the relevant local authorities.
What happened recently, about 3 or 4 months ago, there was an MOU signed Customs, Immigration, Airports Authority, and Police, we've become collectively responsible for securing the borders, whether it be the airports or the ports. So there's constant coordination with regard to that. So I don't know if you know the motto of the Airports Authority: safety is our #1 priority. So we actually think about safety before we think about business. Because if it's not safe, you cannot make money, you cannot move the passengers through seamlessly. So I think it's the aspect, in that aspect, we are most confident.
Well, meanwhile, the Premier and Deputy Premier lauded the territory's success in this area.
But certainly from an immigration standpoint, the sharing of information certainly will go a long way as it pertains to protecting our borders. It's something that we're quite focused on. And I believe we've actually been having a great deal of success in that area.
But we also must acknowledge Customs, BVI Customs. They have been the ones securing the ports upon entry, and I think they have been doing a good job at that. Also beefing up the checks, so I acknowledge them for their work that they have been doing also.
Well, moving on, viewers, where Miss Beverly Smith from the Ministry of Education, Youth Affairs and Sports was presented the inaugural Public Service Award for Excellence in Customer Service, named in honor of Mrs. Stephanie Benn. Our Ron Grant has more on this report.
Miss Beverly Smith from the Ministry of Education, Youth Affairs and Sports was presented the inaugural Public Service Award for Excellence in Customer Service, named in honor of Mrs. Stephanie Benn. The award was handed over to Miss Smith at the midterm review and future outlook of the Public Service Transformation Program. Miss Smith is an Office Generalist 2 assigned to the Ministry of Education, Youth Affairs and Sports since August of 2007. The award was presented based on Ms. Smith's success through the Public Service Star Membership Club, the reward scheme associated with the Ratus platform, formerly the Customer Service Virtual Mailbox Program. Since the club's inception in 2018, Ms. Smith has a cumulative score of 62 points. Elite membership is acquired at 30 points. Deputy Governor Mr. David Archer Jr. noted that this was no small feat. He said the significance of this achievement is underscored by the fact that the top-ranking score to be recognized for this award has been earmarked at 30 points. I would like to say thank you to everyone. I am thankful and I am so grateful for the service that I have done, Ms. Smith said upon receiving her award. The Deputy Governor made the decision to honor the late Mrs. Stephanie Benn by establishing her as the namesake of the award in light of her stellar contributions to the Civil Registry and Passport Office and the wider public service. We saw it fitting to commemorate and honor her, he said, in a tangible and meaningful way, a way that would cement her legacy for years to come. He added that Mrs. Benn exemplified excellence, grace, professionalism, and leadership. She worked tirelessly to establish and maintain standards of excellence at the Civil Registry and Passport Office. Mrs. Benn inspired her staff to never rest on their laurels, but to continue to raise the bar of customer service delivery. Anyone who has had the opportunity to interact with Mrs. Benn would agree that she will undoubtedly be missed by all who knew and loved her, Mr. Archer added. Reporting for 284 News, Ron Grant.
Well, thank you, Ron. Well, viewers, with the anticipation of an influx of tourist arrivals coinciding with the commencement of direct flights between Miami and Tortola via American Airlines on June 1st, 2023, Premier and Minister for Tourism, Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley, is urging Virgin Islanders to do their part to help the territory reap the maximum benefits of the opportunity. Well, one of the ways which he believes that Virgin Islanders can get directly involved is by helping to beef up the territory's accommodative capacity by adapting their homes as rental properties through Airbnb platform. Well, Whitley began discussions on the topic during his budget address when he said, and I quote, "I also encourage Virgin Islanders to invest in villas, small to medium-sized hotels, and consider renting your existing properties as Airbnbs. Greater visitor numbers will present opportunities to share in the tourist pie," end quote. Well, following the announcement of the new flight schedule, Whitley doubled down on this call for action, citing the territory's unique position given its high levels of land ownership.
The good thing about Airbnbs is that you can use your house even. You can use property. And one thing that we have in the Virgin Islands that really has helped to elevate us and propel us is land ownership. We've had land ownership. In fact, a number of years ago, we waived stamp duty to allow persons to be able to buy land. When you have land, you can build your home, but you can also build a business that will be able to, where you can build a property, and the Airbnb is a quite simple thing. Once you have an existing property, anyone can get involved.
Whitley went on to encourage persons who have been seeking employment opportunities to use this time to invest in the tourism sector.
But we also have persons who want to be able to invest, and we're calling on those persons to invest. Of course, we know we've given pioneer status to many persons. And of course, we have the Investment Act now, where we have a legislative regime to offer incentives to any persons who are investing in the Virgin Islands, locally or those who have come from abroad to invest.
Well, Premier Whitley stressed that with this new opportunity on the horizon, the private sector and the people of the Virgin Islands have a responsibility to do their part so that when the tourists arrive, they are ready to provide services to them. Well, viewers, up next, a fair Tenancy Act in the works, says Premier. An MOU with CARICOM and preclearance talks to streamline travelers' experience. Well, we get to those two stories when 284 News return.
Introducing a show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. It doesn't always involve suits and bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons. I'm taking you outside in the field to share the journey of some of the BVI'S, the best and brightest men. From East End to West End, Virgin Gorda to Jas Van Dyke, not forgetting Anigada. Our Virgin Islands gentlemen are doing the damn thing. We are the movers and shakers of this generation. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman. Season 4 by yours truly, Ron Grant. Raising a generation of greatness. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on 284 Media.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, I can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What do you really? Hey, this ain't like you, know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I huff. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Well, welcome back, viewers, and thank you so much for sticking with us. Well, as Virgin Islanders are pushed to explore the use and development of their homes and properties in an effort to increase and diversify the territory's ability to accommodate a greater number of incoming visitors, Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia Whitley has admitted that this must coincide with the necessary legislative push to protect the availability of affordable housing for renters in the territory. Whitley noted despite the territory having a notable high level of land ownership, it cannot be denied that a large number of residents find their long-term accommodations on rental properties. But that is why the Premier noted with the incoming Trade Commission, a Fair Tenancy Act is in the works.
The Trade Department actually, with the new Common Trade Commission, they have a number of policies and a number of pieces of legislation which will be on the way. And one of the pieces of legislation that we'll be developing in the short term has to do with Fair Tenancy Act. Of course, it'll be a big debate and a big discussion, but we can't be afraid of the tough topics here in the Virgin Islands, and this is for me what leadership is about.
Wheatley went on to note that the availability of affordable housing is the responsibility of the government.
Government has a responsibility as well. You see it around the world in terms of helping to create affordable housing for individuals that will not become like slums, will not become run down. And we have quite a number of persons. I was just speaking to a gentleman about 2 days ago who's trying to build and speaking about how expensive it is to build a home in the BVI. And those are things that we have to tackle. We have to tackle affordable housing. We know some efforts were made in terms of the Joes Hill Project Social Security, but we know that that's also going to be quite expensive for persons who are seeking to live in those accommodations. So I think we have to continue to work at it. I like the idea of having subdivisions for middle income families and things like that who are trying to build at a more affordable rate. But it's something that we can discuss more moving forward.
Well, the Premier explained that in the process of developing this piece of legislation, it will be necessary to engage a wide range of stakeholders, including landlords, tenants, and community leaders, to ensure that adequate input is gathered. Our viewers, moving on to our final story, where the immigration process at the Terence B. Lettsome International Airport will soon be streamlined to make the traveling experience seamless for all inbound and outbound travelers. Our Premier and Minister for Tourism, Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley, made the announcement during a recent press conference where he revealed that his government will soon be signing a memorandum of understanding with CARICOM. He said the signing will be on the Air Passenger Information System, which will complement immigration's border management system.
In the coming days, I'll be signing a memorandum of understanding with the Caribbean community on air passenger information system. And this will help us tremendously because even before someone gets on a plane, we'll receive the information here in the Virgin Islands, which will allow us to be able to scrutinize the persons on the list, do our due diligence, so that when they get here, it's not a very long process for them to be processed because we would have had the information prior to their arrival. And this really corresponds with the transformation that's been taking place as it pertains to border management. Of course, we have a digital border management system. Right now, we have kiosks at the airport and other ports here in the Virgin Islands that right now, presently, Virgin Islanders are able to use to allow you to process a lot quicker. And we're going to continue along this path.
Our Premier Wheatley also said there have been discussions surrounding the subject of preclearance for passengers utilizing the recent announced direct flights from the territory to Miami.
Preclearance. We've been speaking about the possibility of preclearance just to make it easier when you fly up to Miami. You may have the possibility of just walking off the plane as opposed to standing up in long lines. So all of these things are things we're working on behalf of the people of the Virgin Islands.
Well, to make the traveler experience even more seamless, Managing Director of the BVI Airports Authority, Mr. Kurt Manal, said a number of departments have been working in sync. He said a number of plans are on the horizon for the airport on Beef Island.
There's a group working together, Customs, Immigration, Tourism, and the Airports Authority, to streamline that experience. So just to add to what the Premier was speaking about, what you will see come February, March is we'll be doing away, or Immigration Customs will be doing away with the ED cards. So that would make it more seamless. In terms of the space is restricted in Customs and Immigration presently. We have plans to expand the area to streamline the processes. So what you'll see is a continuous spatial planning exercise going on where the look of Customs and Immigration in terms of the physical layout will change. So the passenger would flow through more seamlessly. They would have more space. You'd have a different angle or different type of baggage belt, different carousel. So overall, what we're looking to do is, yes, we've brought in the increased airlift, but when you land, your experience has to be the best. Yeah. all the way to your Airbnb, your home, wherever.
Well, viewers, that's all we have for today's newscast. Log on to our 284media.com website for more stories. Like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Kamal Haynes, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.